All right, guys, this is today's little mowing project, and so got the machine warming up. Goes right down through there. You guys can see that's mowed. This isn't. Right through there, comes all the way around, and basically butts up to this property that I've been maintaining for a while. I've never cut this property. When if you saw my one of my, I think it was my last video where I cleaned that hedgerow over there. The owner for this property saw me doing that and stopped by and asked me if I could cut this for him. And I said no problem. So I don't know what's in there, but I'm not really taking down any of these trees or any of that stuff. We're just mowing it, knocking down the grass and stuff in there and the weeds and stuff. It's pretty thick. I have no clue when the last time it was cut. I'm gonna say probably last year. If I had to guess, it's probably at least a year's worth of growth in there. So but it just butts right up to this lot I've already mowed. So it's nice. I know where my lines are, right here and right over there on the other side. So there's some trees to work around in here, but nothing too crazy. And but some of it, like right over here on this edge, is really grown up. It's pretty thick and tall in some places. So just do the best we can and see how it goes. It's probably going to take me, I'm gonna say, a couple hours to do this. I think it's like 1.7 acres or something like that ish. We'll see. Just got the blade sharpened, got this thing out of the shop. It had a leak, another hydraulic leak, O-ring, but it's running good. It regen this morning for about 20 minutes, and it's doing good. So let's get started. All right, guys, here it is. A lot thicker in this area than what I originally kind of saw, but nothing we couldn't handle. I was supposed to just bush hog this, but when I got in here, especially in this area and right in there along these little tree lines, you know, I get to be kind of like a used furniture salesman, and I'm like, everything must go. And then I just start taking stuff out, opening it up, cleaning it up, because it really, what happens is it makes my job, if I come back and I have to mow this again, it's going to make my job a lot easier, because then I don't have to work around this stuff. Now, like where this big conglomeration was, where that stump was, all that's ground down and gone. This will all just be grass or weeds or whatever, so I can actually kind of come through here a lot quicker next time, and it just saves me a lot of trouble and a lot of work in the future. So I think the owner will be happy with it. I didn't take down everything because, like I said, I didn't price it to do all that brush cutting and mulching and all that stuff to take down those big tallow trees and whatever. But I mean, I could have done it, but it just wasn't in the price when I priced it. So, but I did want to clean it up, make it look good, and then if I have to do this again, it'll be a lot easier. I wanted to take down that tree there and that other big tallow tree over there, but being so close to the road, I just didn't want to chance that. It just wasn't worth it. So no worries. But got all this cleaned up. It's opened up. You see through here nice and good now. It's wide open. Some of these trees are probably a little bit too big for the machine to take down. That one's probably a bit too big, especially at the bottom. That one's too big. Some of these other ones are a little too big too, or they're right next to bigger trees that it would be hard to get to. So these up here, this was kind of a pain to work around here, and there's like a big old hole right here. I don't know what this is, but this that's like a massive hole there. I don't know what that is, but I went down in and I was like, what in the world? There's another one kind of like right there too, but this is the main one. So fun little surprises. I'm not going to clean up around the trees. Wasn't part of my deal. I just wanted it bush hogged, and then I kind of cleaned up some other stuff in here just to make it look good and make my job easier. So hope you guys enjoyed the content. I gotta bring the blower. I forgot the blower. I'm gonna blow off the sidewalk. I'm working just down the street tomorrow, so I'll bring the blower over here and clean up the sidewalk there a little bit. But yeah, this looks good. Looks good. On the last video, when I was mowing that little 1.4 acre lot, the machine might have been bogging down because I blew an O-ring in this diverter back here. I'll show you guys. So that little thing right down in there with like that little hex head bolt sticking out of it with those two hydraulic lines coming out of it, that's some kind of solenoid in there that controls the oil through those two lines. I think those two lines go to the drives, but I'm not sure. But there's some O-rings in there, and I've had two O-rings go out around that little hex head right there, and then another one was inside. So sometime during that last mowing job I did, I blew an O-ring in there. I think it was probably kind of towards the end of the job, and it wasn't like blowing oil out. It was just kind of like seeping, you know, out at a pretty decent rate, but I didn't even know it until I got back to the shop. I parked it, and then the next morning I came back and there was a big puddle of oil under it at the shop. And so I knew immediately. I said, I bet it's that thing right there, because I've been having problems with it. So I brought it out, cranked it up, shined the flashlight down in it, and sure enough, it started leaking out from underneath it. So it's a 7-year-old machine. The O-rings are going to start to go in some spots. So is what it is. Is what it is. But other than that, she's been running pretty good. I had to go to the local John Deere dealership, Flint, today and get some hydraulic oil to fill back up in the reservoir. And they had a brand new 333G sitting out there. Brand new cab, high flow, all of that good stuff, man. That thing was, it was gleaming and nice. One thing, I popped the hood. One thing on the new G models, you don't have all this space in the new G models as far as like this here and all this open space. The whole thing is just like, it's all just packed and crammed down in there. Like it's crazy looking. But they made a couple changes that I saw that I really like. The hydraulic oil is like up here now. The oil fill is a little higher up, so they're easy to get to. That getting to that oil thing there sometimes can be a pain even with this off, because the arm is in the way, so you kind of have to like finagle the can you know, down in there. So the other thing they did that I saw that I really liked was they put a cover over these where these hydraulic lines go down underneath the cab. This one doesn't have it, and you can see that just as like a magnet for like dust and pine straw and leaves, so I'm always constantly having to clean that out. The new one has this nice cover over it that wraps around these lines that keep stuff from going down in there. That was a nice thing too. And these arms are sloped off, so if you get anything on here, it slopes, stuff falls off, doesn't fall back that way. So a couple design changes on the new G models that I really like. The E model, they didn't really make much changes as far as the design from the D to the E model. As far as the actual architecture of it, it's really all just the emission stuff in the engine. The D model doesn't have regen in it. It's I think it's a tier 3 engine. This is a tier 4 interim, so it has regen. Actually regened earlier today. I had to let it sit for about 20 minutes. So all right, well, I'm gonna get this thing cleaned off, loaded up. It's 5:30. Got to get this thing back to the shop, get it unloaded, and see what the next job brings. So hope you guys are having a great week so far. It's a Monday, but we're gonna make it. I'll check you guys later.